Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to another great episode of Lunchtime Talk with Steve. All right, today we actually have a few different people that are going to be on. You're going to see some great stuff. We're going to start with Captain Barrington Irving. You'll know him from the Guinness Book of World Records as being the youngest person to fly around the world. And in 2007, I believe it was. We also have Credit Repair coming up. We have Carnival. We have different people. One from Barbados. Dude, we got a lot going on right now. So let me do this. I'm gonna go ahead and start the intro, and all of you guys go ahead and share it with your friends, your relatives, your favorite group, with everyone. Okay. We're about to start now, so start your sharing. And even if you're watching on the replay, go ahead and start your sharing. Start sharing it out. Thanks. Oh, hold on. Intro didn't play. These are the problems we have with live shows. There we go. Captain Barrington Irving, how are you?
Doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing awesomely awesome as always. Dude, I tell you, it's great having you on the show. It's like, man, I mean, I've actually followed your career for so many years, and the things that you've been doing, and you've made us proud always, always. I'm telling you.
No, very, very, very grateful. A, to be alive, but B, for the opportunity others, gave to me. Trusting a 23-year-old kid to fly around the world solo with only 400 flight hours. Yeah, I'm very, very grateful.
That's good. That's good. I'm telling you, man. And you're doing a lot now with your flying classroom and different things that you're doing. Explain to the viewers a little bit about the flying classroom and what it is, what it entails, and how it works.
Okay. So after I flew around the world, I thought I'd go on to fly for the airlines or something, because the gentleman who introduced me to aviation, he flew for the airlines, and Next thing you know, I started to work with kids. Kids were just coming out from everywhere, just saying, hey, just do something with us. So we had kids build an airplane from scratch, then we flew it. Then we had them build a car faster than a Ferrari 430.
Let me go back again. The kids built an airplane from scratch and you flew it?
Yeah. It was all over the news. And this was back in 2008. So I just got back from flying around the world in 2007. And just a bunch of parents and young people were asking, hey, what can we do? Mm-hmm. And literally, I just started to say, you know, kids are bored in school. You know, it's a big issue. And I think COVID-19 has exposed that even more, right, where it's all about selling the kids, right? When we think about learning, people don't think, hey, we're in the business of selling something to young people. And I created a flying classroom, which is basically like a real life magic school bus. I fly around the world conducting crazy expeditions, whether we're hunting down sea snakes, or I'm flying with the Blue Angels, or we're working with parasites, or I'm eating fruit bat in some foreign place. We've conducted over 55 expeditions in different parts of the world. We package it into a way that kids can understand the core subjects of what they need to learn in the real world.
And I see some of the other stuff that you're doing too, like the diving. I just went over to your website, and like this right here, you know.
Yeah. So we do all these different expeditions, and you know, our goal is real simple. For the teacher, it's to help teachers become to really have the ability to teach science and math without being a subject matter expert. I mean, here in Florida, 83% of math and science teachers have no professional backgrounds in those fields. You know, really? It's a real issue. Oh yeah, it's a real issue. So kids are no fool. They can tell who knows what they're talking about and who's just making it up. And we like to help empower teachers to be able to share science, technology, engineering, and math without being a subject matter expert. And we've had tremendous success for the past, oh goodness, we're at this, 6 years now as far as Flying Classroom. And then my nonprofit, we've been doing that since 2006.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So your nonprofit was going before you even flew around the world.
Yes. That was a big priority for me.
So tell me, what made you say, I'm going to fly around the world?
You know, to be quite honest, so I was introduced to aviation by this United Airline pilot. He was a Jamaican guy, and I saw this gentleman. It was a random meeting. I saw him step out of a nice Lincoln Navigator dressed in this beautiful uniform and had a nice bracelet on, and I'm just staring at him saying, man, this brother looks like he makes a lot of money. He sees that I'm staring at him, approaches me and says, hey, son, you ever thought about becoming a pilot? I told him I didn't think I was smart enough to fly airplanes. So I asked him one pivotal question. I said, how much money do you make? After
that's always the main question right there.
Oh, that's right. I mean, you know, I'm Jamaican. I left at the age of 6, grew up in Liberty City and Opelika. Mm-hmm. And, you know, for me, it's like, hey, how much money you make? I don't want to hear about the career. How much do you make? and that's what created interest. And because of him, after he helped me, he challenged me to give back to others. And I'm like, I don't have any money to give. What could I possibly give back? Mm-hmm. And that's when I learned the value of sharing time, knowledge, and, you know, the same way he did with me. So when he challenged me to give back, I said, what if I flew around the world just to inspire people? I was honestly being a bit lazy. I was trying to get everything done in one shot. And little did I know I'd be setting records and doing all of these crazy things.
How old were you when you went around the world?
I was 23. The youngest prior to me was 37. And wow. That record stood for 5 years. I did it without any weather radar, any de-icing, but I figured out the hack. I figured out how you can do it as a young person. Then I started helping other young people do it. And I was also the first Black man to fly solo around the world. So very grateful.
Mm-hmm. Paula said she met you at Banyan Elementary.
Yes. Hey, Paula, what's going on?
You know one thing I like about you? I tell you, there's something, and you have The only other person that I see that had the same talent was Wayne Heisinger that owned the
Oh yeah,
Marlins and all this.
Blockbuster and the Dolphins. Yes.
Exactly. You would meet a person, and if you meet them again 2, 3, 4 years later, you remember them. And I'm like, how? Because when you met me the second time, you remembered me. And I'm like, how does this guy remember me? He meets like thousands of people.
It's hard sometimes. It's hard sometimes, but you know what? I just like to help people. You know, people have helped me, and I really enjoy that. And now I'm able to help kids on a larger scale. We're working with schools right now from LA to New York to Texas, Georgia, and here in South Florida. And of course, I will remember you, Paula. And you know, it's just one of those things where you just want to empower others as best as you can. Because someone did it for me. You just want to empower others as best as you can.
Hey, Barrington, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but for a second there, my whole screen went blank. I'm like, I don't understand.
No worries.
Eaton says pilots don't forget much things.
Very true.
But yeah, so go ahead, finish what you were saying.
No, I'm just saying I'm very grateful to help others, and you know, it's amazing. You know, some of these kids I work with, you know, they don't even know how to write a check or you know, certain things with financial literacy, and then every Christmas I'm meeting with them talking about investing and all those other things, and it's rewarding to see a kid go from not knowing where half an inch is on a ruler, and all of a sudden they are able to, you know, have successful careers and replicate that.
Yeah, because I mean, you do a lot with the schools, even here in Broward County. That was the second time I met you, but the first time I met you was again at another school at Park Lakes Elementary when
Yes.
they dedicated the bridge to you.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the first time, and then
That's
the second.
with Hazel Rogers. Yes, I remember
Exactly.
that.
Mayor,
Yes.
now she's mayor of Lauderdale Lakes,
Yeah.
and then I met you with Title One, with the things you were doing with the Title
Yes.
One group. You know, so there's a lot that you're doing. I mean, it's like, you know, and you inspire a lot of these kids. Like you said, they don't really see pilots, and they don't see themselves as being a pilot. They see the basketball player, the football player, these people on TV. But then to see you, it inspires them to do great things, and you know, it lets them know that they can do something else. They don't have to be the basketball player and the football player, you know.
And I think honestly, I think part of it is honestly the adult's fault, you know, because I think when it comes to sports and entertainment, very clearly we paint the finish line.
Mm.
When it comes to other professions and fields, we
Mhm.
don't paint the finish line. We articulate the steps to get somewhere. Oh, this is the amount of math you have to learn. This is how much science you need. These are the steps. You got to go to school for 4 years or whatever the case may be. And entertainment, they don't talk about it, but it's their reality too. They have to go to school. They have to learn how to be a sound engineer and all of these different things. And I think that's part of the challenge in education, is that we get so caught up in the steps and the journey. Kids don't care about that. Yes, it's important, but kids care about the finish line. You
That's
know,
true.
that's what they care about.
Because you know what, and it's funny that you say that, because we see the kids that want to be the next Beyonce, the next Jay-Z, the next all these different people, you know, and we don't think about the work it takes. As a matter of fact, one of the interviews I'm going to play next week, because I'm going to start doing Throwback Thursdays. Every Thursday, I'm going to do interviews. I'm going to play like interviews or even talk about people that I've met. And one of the things is when I met Alonzo Mourning, and Alonzo Mourning was saying that and at the time I believe he was like he wasn't even 40 at the time when I met him, and he was saying he had the body of almost an 80-year-old man because of the pressure that he puts on his body, the amount of surgeries. We just see the game and be like, oh wow, he's great, but then the amount of practice. Every time he goes up and he comes down, that shock that it puts on your ankles, your knees, your back, your spine, every time that puts that shock. And we don't see that with these, we don't let these kids see that. We just let them see, oh, he has a big house out on the water and he has his cars but we don't let them see like you said, the journey that it takes to get there.
Well, the journey and the financial principles. I tell all my students all the time, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep.
That's true.
There's a big difference in mindset, and there is a big difference in approach, right? Because, hey, you have tons of people in the United States who make $50,000 a year and they end up becoming millionaires. There are, and it's not all about money, but we know money is a driving force with our young people, especially young people who come from very challenging situations. And there's certain principles and stuff that, I believe in and I've learned as an entrepreneur. And, it's interesting, even with what the challenges we're going through with COVID-19, thank God of those because of those principles, I'm able to, be all right.
And that's the thing, because a lot of people, and that's a segue to the gentleman that's going to be coming up in a second too. And I really want you to stay on with during that segment. I don't want you to go anywhere because he's going to be talking about things like credit and the importance of credit and things of that sort. Now, one of the things too is another friend of mine that's going to be on the show next week. He always says people don't have a money problem; they have a money management problem. Because you could have a guy that, like you said, makes $40,000-$50,000 a year and turns it into $1 million, and you can have a millionaire that squanders that money and he's broke next week. So it's a money management problem. It's not a money problem.
Yeah, but, I mean we're spenders. In the United States, we're big spenders, and there's no question to that. And it's actually very perplexing. I wish financial literacy, the things I know now at 36 versus what I wish I knew when I was 17, 18 years old. They just weren't teaching that at the schools I attended, and I had no access to it, and it's important.
And and we were just having that conversation not long ago too, because when I went to school, I went to Norland High School in Miami, to many schools that I've been to, Miami Norland Senior High, and we had Future Business Leaders of America, we have Junior Achievement, we had so many different things that taught people how to be entrepreneurs, how to manage money, how to write checks, balance a checkbook, and I don't see those programs anymore.
Yeah, there are still some great programs out there, but the big problem is financial literacy can apply in literacy. It can apply in math. It can apply in science. And I don't think we take advantage of it enough where it becomes universal in thought and in mindset. What's the biggest difference between Silicon Valley type area, versus other areas? And it's simply mindset and the discipline of money.
And I'm glad that you just mentioned that too, because I always use an example, and people get upset with me when I use the example. But I'm going to do it anyway. It's my show. But we look at the little kid and I'll use Liberty City because like you said, that's where you're from. The issues in Liberty City. Well, you said Opelika actually, but
Liberty City.
But let's look at a little kid in Opelika, in Liberty City area, or even Opelika in Alabama. You see, I know the area very well.
Yeah.
And that little kid takes, let's say, an 8-ball of whatever, or a kilo or whatever, cuts it up, puts it in little bags, sell it. He makes $5,000-$6,000 over the weekend. That kid is a criminal. He gets arrested. He gets a mugshot. If he took the same template and applied a different commodity that kid will be on the front of Time magazine as one of the youngest millionaires. Let's say he took the same idea that he had, but go up on US 27, buy the 55-gallon drum of sugar, package it into small 5-pound bags of sugar, and sold those. Same concept, same template.
Yep. It is the same concept, and it's funny you bring me back to when I first started working with students. I actually, it wasn't popular either when I did it, but I remember it left an impact because I'd say, okay, how long does it take to sell a brick? And when you actually do the math, and you're at the lower levels, you're actually working for less than minimum wage. The only difference is you're not getting any taxes taken out of it. But see, those are the types of conversations you have to have with kids because, look, they're learning how to do other things, steal a car, or whatever the case may be. They're learning how to do other things. And it's important for them to understand you are an entrepreneur. They just don't see themselves as an entrepreneur, nor do they understand certain principles or whatever the case may be. But I mean, I tell students all the time, especially students that come from tough backgrounds, you already have a leg up because half the battle is surviving in very uncomfortable situations.
Exactly.
The situation you come from, you already know how to do that. You already have, that's a skill that's very difficult to teach. You already have that in your resume. So, kids start to really look at, I hated being poor. It wasn't until I became a man and an adult that I realized poverty was actually an asset. It was just difficult for me to see it while I was in it.
And the thing is, like you said, half the battle is already won because, I like to say it again too, book smart, anybody can be book smart. Street smarts would beat book smart any day.
Yes.
I lived in New York as well. I grew up in New York. I've been all over the place. New York. I'm originally from Barbados. In Florida, different things. And I tell people I learned so much those years in New York. And I always say New York University is not just a school. It is actually the streets. Because people think you get that education in school. I tell you, watch Ozark.
Yeah.
Watch Ozark. You see.
You learn real fast.
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually bring someone else in right now. Let's see. Oh, hold on just a moment. Oh, go over a little bit to your. There we go. Perfect. So, let me bring that back. There we go. Introduce yourself to my audience. You're muted. Let me unmute you. I think you muted yourself. You're muted. There you go.
Okay, there you go. Can you hear me now?
Can hear you. Perfect. There you go. So
hi. It's afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Well.
Awesome. My name is Lanez Burt. I'm an educator, so it's funny that your guest speaker was talking about, I think someone said I used to go to Nolan. I used to sub there when I first started at Nolan High School. And I own my own credit repair business. I was teaching for about 17 years now, 17, 18. And I think this year I might hang it up. I might be hanging it up because
they need you. These kids need great teachers. We need people that are in it for the passion, not for the paycheck.
Yeah, and I'm just coming in a different capacity. Basically, I'll still be teaching, but I do more. And I heard you mention it also, financial literacy. So I teach high school, so I'm going in a different capacity. Whereas they really need financial literacy, and I think that that's more important than just I teach the certification class now where they get certified in Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, but our kids are hurting so bad because I'm coming across a lot of them, they're getting the insurance for their car, and they don't like working for people anyway, and they're messing up their credit from age 18. So I thought about it. I said, I need to come in a different angle, and coming in teaching financial literacy, I think that's a well-needed area.
Definitely, because even like Paula just said too, she said, look at the stimulus. We get money and we're encouraged to go out and spend it. There's no formula to even save a penny for a rainy day, and that's true. I mean, first thing they're talking about is jump starting the economy and spending. No, save some of that money. You don't need to go. You know what I mean. It's so. Tell me, what kind of what do you have? What kind of program do you have for these kids that are just now turning
Okay,
18 or whatever, and how are you encouraging them to save?
okay. For I have a program called the YFL. That's the Youth Financial Literacy, where we
Mhm.
go into the schools from ages 8 to 18, and it's a curriculum set up for them where we provide them with textbooks, and we give them a certificate at the end of the program. It's an 8 weeks program, so any school or organization that has 35 children or more, we teach them financial literacy, and at the end, we also give them a certificate or a check of $500. So
Really?
we have to start our kids off from that age, because we don't want them to fall into the same predicament what we fell into. So financial literacy is so important, and I think it's going to make it a better world if we all, come together and start teaching our children about financial literacy.
Wait, I have a question for you. Can I take that class and get the $500 too?
If it's five, you can we can talk about that as well.
I want to take it. As a matter of fact, wait, I'll take it twice. How about that?
I'm still learning myself, so I'm like, because back in college they never offered this either. So you would think that, okay, if it's not in high school, you think it would be in college, and it's not.
Yeah.
So
As a matter of fact, college actually has the on the other side of the spectrum, far side of the spectrum, they actually put you in a worse situation because that's where most people fall into credit card debt. You get there and they're like, oh, just sign this and you get $5,000, and you're like,
yes,
really? And then you're like, wait a minute. So if I sign this for all 10 of these, I get $50,000, and before you know it, you got $50,000 in debt your first day of school. Well, actually, before that, because when you sign up for your student loan, you're already in debt. But so
yeah, because
you're really starting
yeah, and
behind the eight ball.
the average debt over is now over 2,200, about 225,000, with many people having less than 500 in savings. So
Mhm.
49% have retirement, and 18% know that they are on track. So we have to really, teach our youth, not so that they wouldn't fall into this bracket as the years go by. So that's very important, because I was one of the victim of coming from the Bahamas. I'm from the Bahamas, and coming to college in the United States, I know nothing with no credit. I'm like, what is credit? And
Mhm.
so to find those banks there waiting for us, we fill out the application. I got $1,000 from Discover. If you remember Discover card, I
Yeah.
got $1,000, and I just went on a shopping spree. And then when I saw a bill came in, I'm like, what is this? They say you have to pay it back. I'm like, I don't have no money. I'm a college student. So, so I'm trying to get into going into the schools as well to speak about, all of this, because a lot of kids are still hurting, believe it or not. You would think at this time that they would, they would be
No.
okay, and they would have people right there sitting in the room when the freshman comes in to talk about financial literacy, to talk about, the importance of credit, why credit important to them. Because our former
Well,
educator, again, did not teach us about personal finance, ownership, financial freedom, or success. So we got to really, dig into it from day one.
that's not a problem. I'm sorry, I'm talking to someone out there too. But you know what? That's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is we don't know how to teach our children because a lot of us didn't learn it. So we can't teach it to our children. Do you have a program for the parents? Because if the kids, you can teach the kids all you want, but if the parents don't understand, then what happens then?
That's true. And I mean, because of the fact
A
that
better question is,
I'm
can parents attend the program?
Um, parents could
Other
attend
people
the
are texting me
program,
from
and I
Pennsylvania
also
too.
set up seminars for parents as well, for adults. I normally set up seminars, free seminars, to teach them about financial literacy. And there's 12 services that I go over with them, about budgeting and savings, is a lot of programs that I go over with them. So yes, the answer is yes. We do set up seminars for parents and adults as well.
Now, here's a question for you. Now, you said that that the children one is being taught in school, or you're trying to get it in school. Is this an after school program, or is this something that you're teaching in, like, let's say, a math class, or
Well, actually, we go in, it's like a supplement. So during school hours, it's not an after school, but because I'm going to be more full time into doing this, I spoke with one of my after school. Um, Actually, she's an advisor, and I talked to her about it, added it in the curriculum for after school. So that is another stairway that I'm going to take as well.
So you're from the Bahamas, you said. Well, first off,
Yeah.
which island?
Nassau.
I love Nassau. Been there many times. Nassau, Freeport. I haven't been to the out islands, but people keep telling me I got to visit the out islands.
Oh, definitely.
I can see Captain Irving over there shaking his head. I know you've been over there many times because you probably fly over there like just for fun.
I know, yeah, but we know we have some quote unquote imitation count here, but yeah, I just went to the Bahamas in December, and I miss it a lot, and it's getting back to where it's supposed to be from last year. It's getting better. So I know that right now, because we're heading into the hurricane season, that a lot of people now are panicking because we don't know what's going to happen. So we again have to keep them in prayers, because it's with all of this, quarantine, the pandemic, and now, the hurricane is like a lot for people, because students and a lot of people are going through a lot right now. They're going through a lot. So all of this now combining together, it's a lot. It's a lot right now. So we just got to stay prayed up, and just pray our way through this.
And Captain Irvin, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm mistaken, but I think I saw where you did a lot, where you did some stuff with the hurricane relief or the different reliefs in the Bahamas as well.
Yeah, we've carried over 60,000 pounds of supplies over there, from Nassau, Freeport, Treasure Cay. I can't remember where else we flew into, but that was one of the things with our line of aviation. After the storm hit, we were able to immediately get in and give some support. And honestly, what blew me away was just the level of flooding, 20 to 23 feet
Wow.
of flooding. And there's some places you fly into and it looks like the storm just happened yesterday. So, and that's just right. There's still a lot of help that's needed. And yeah, we're very grateful for a lot of folks who supported us to drop off medicine, supplies. I mean, whatever we could fit in the plane. We were landing all over the place.
So well, thank you for your support.
No, absolutely. Very, very.
Do you have family from there?
I don't have family from there, but we actually have some students who have family there. So a matter of fact, I was able to fly supplies to their relatives directly, because there was a period of time where some of the supplies just weren't getting to people, and we knew how to get around that. So we have quite a few students from the Bahamas.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
I have a friend named Tika, and she was doing a lot as well. So she was collecting a lot of clothes and all kind of stuff and sending it over there to her relatives, who pretty much, they knew everyone in the community in the area. So they were distributing it, to people in the area. So like you said, it gets around the red tape where the people, and that's one of the good things. So now, like Lanez was saying, we're heading back into hurricane season. So I encourage people to start collecting stuff again, because we know it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen here. And we may not get hit hard, but we're going to have people that still need it. So when you go out in your shop, pick up a couple extra items so that when it's time to donate, you're good to go. You just donate.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. And I think that's what was scary about the storm, is that how close it came to South Florida.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. If Hurricane Dorian would have sat on us the way it sat on the Bahamas,
Ooh.
We would have been done. We would have had another Andrew.
yeah,
It would have been another Andrew.
Andrew would look like literally a smidget compared to
Yeah.
You know the roof tin caps, the round circles, and they put the nail in it.
Yeah.
I saw those stuck in 2x4s.
Wow.
That's how powerful the storm was.
Hey
Because
guys,
you know we have a high code for our buildings over there. Our homes are strongly built, you know, with cement and steel, and a lot of homes still went down. So, like you said, if that had landed here, it'd have been serious.
I have another guest that we're popping in as well. From Barbados. Hey, we're all over the place today. I'm telling you.
Hey, that's awesome. The world is a beautiful place.
I know, right? And then later on this week, I actually have another guy from Spain, and then I have one from Jamaica. I mean, people are sending me requests from all over the place to join. You know, Tika's actually there. The one that I just mentioned, she's right here. But so I have Maurice in here. Maurice,
hi.
how you doing?
How are y'all doing?
Good, good. So Maurice is in Barbados, and okay, this is like, I don't want to call you the carnival expert, so explain to the people what you do.
Okay, so I've been working in media now for the last 15 years. I started out working in regional media, and then 3 years later, I went out on my own. And then I've had some successes and some failures, but I've learned from the failures. And in 2016, I decided to refocus and build a couple businesses, and that's what I'm working on now. One is a virtual reality company. One is a travel company broken into two. One part focuses on carnival experiences mixed with island culture, and the next one focuses on more island culture and raw experiences.
So wait, so you're telling me that you're gonna have like a virtual carnival?
Yeah, I have carnivals. The only company in the world that has virtual reality carnivals from four islands.
So explain to me how that works. That one is like, okay, you really gotta explain to me that one.
Okay. Well, when we started traveling, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to focus on, so I decided to capture everything that I could. So we traveled and I captured all the culture I could in, and we would travel around Carnival time. So we capture tourist hotspots, beautiful locations, and I captured them in 360 VR video and photos, normal photos and video. So then I came back and the idea started to be refined and formed together more, and that's how I pulled together the company.
Yeah. So if we wanted to do, like, for example, right now they canceled crop over in Barbados because of the COVID-19.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we wanted to do a virtual carnival, if we wanted to, and I don't even know what's going to happen with this carnival here, but or even the one in Atlanta. I think the one in Atlanta and Orlando, I'm not sure what happened because those are supposed to be this weekend. I haven't heard anything about them. But if we want to do a virtual carnival, how would you do that? And how does it work? I mean, what you do, you just put the thing on and you start.
So you put the headset on. If you have the headset and you put it on, is like you're actually there. You can look to the right to you, the left you, behind you, up, down. You're gonna feel as though you're in Carnival. So we have that from 4 different islands. I partnered with Zulu International in 2017, and they were the first company to come on board in terms of Carnival company. But I've done work for BTMI UK that appeared at.
Wait, your mic is hitting your shirt.
Sorry. So I've done work for BTMI UK that has appeared at World Travel Market, which is the biggest tourism expo in the world. I've done work for the Ministry of Culture here that showcased at Passport DC in Washington. So yeah, the carnivals, you would be able to experience it as if you were really here. So as well as the beautiful locations, the cultural experiences and all of that. That's what they do.
So you said you do it with 4 islands. What are the 4 islands? I'm assuming Barbados is one.
Yeah, Barbados, Trinidad, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent.
All right, cool. Huh. All right, let me see. I got a comment here from Eaton. He said, my cousin Keith Holder is commentator, crop over, okay. And let me see who else we have. We have Paula. Okay. So let's get you. She put the accent strong though. Paula got a lot of Bajan friends, so she always imitated the Bajan accent.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Actually, each of you are gonna get to give out your information anyway, because I really want people to be able to reach out to you, because the credit repair, we definitely need that. I mean, we need to understand credit and how credit works, because like Lanez was saying, in the islands we didn't do that. Growing up, we didn't. I never heard about credit in Barbados. I mean, seriously, the only time you hear about credit is if you trust the coolie man for something, and that was it.
You're right. We used a lot of credit in the Bahamas.
but the thing is, you didn't hear about credit. Now you're hearing about. When you come here, then all of a sudden it's credit cards and student loan and car loan and this and that. Back home, people save up and buy what they want. If you're buying a house, you stay home and you save your money until you have the money. Then you buy a piece of land. Then you buy some things to build a house, and you buy the windows, and you buy the door, and it may take you 10 years, but when you're done, that house is yours. So we need to hear about how credit is done. So, Lanez, what's your make sure you give me your website. Do you have a website?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What's your website? Your website.
If it's the services, I have a website for the YFL for the youth, and that's www.yflfoundation.org.
Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Shoot me your information. I'm gonna put it on all of you guys. Give me your information. I'm gonna put them on the Lunchtime Talk with Steve page. This way we can get all of that in there. So people will go directly to the page and they'll be able to link to you, just like how we do with the other guests. Because if you go to the page, you'll see the other guests that we have, and you'll see their books and different things of that sort. But so people go to this page and they'll be able to get everything from there. But I'm still curious about the Carnival one. So let me ask you, how come you don't have Trinidad in the Carnival thing?
You mean me? Yes.
Yes, yes, Maurice.
Okay, yes. Just double checking. I have Trinidad. Trinidad was the first place I traveled to and captured carnivals.
I think you said Barbados, St. Lucia.
Yeah, Barbados, St. Lucia, Trinidad, and St. Vincent.
Oh, okay, I missed the Trinidad part. Yeah. Sorry to all my Trini people. I didn't hear him say Trinidad. Because Trinis get very defensive. Let me see. This is from Tika. Tika was the other lady I was talking about before. She's here, but she does a lot in the Bahamas. She sends a lot to the Bahamas. Let's see. Not at all. Okay. Oh yeah. No. But she's talking about the credit. We never heard about it at all. Only when we came to the United States. So, how long has your business been around, Maurice?
I started in 2016. And that's when I decided to refocus.
So you're the full owner of this, or is this you and
Yeah. I'm the full owner.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, see what we were just talking about. Captain Irving and I, we were just talking about this, about the difference in opportunities. Let's say if you were it's not as easy as just being here and getting to Silicon Valley, but if you were to have a thing like this in Silicon Valley, could you imagine the investors and the different things that the different people that would be available to you? So
Yeah. That's one thing. America has opportunities that we don't have available here as easily.
To an extent, but I mean, living here doesn't necessarily make the opportunity available. But but they do have opportunities. Because look at the things that Captain Irving has done here in the United States. That had he not been here, I don't know if he'd been flying around the world.
Yeah,
right.
Very true.
Right.
Very true.
So, Paula wants to know what happened to Jamaica Carnival.
I was thinking that exactly.
Maurice, that's a question for you, buddy.
Well, I haven't gotten to Jamaica as yet. I mean, if someone is I made the investment in myself. I flew around to these countries and I capture what I could, and then I put together the company. But I mean, I would be willing to work along with any tourism board for any country, or some person that was willing to work along with my company.
Well, there you guys have it. If any of you countries want to be in the virtual carnival business, if you want to get your country in there, contact Maurice. I'm telling you, hey, it's the wave of the future. Right now, you could have been jumping in Carnival this weekend if if we had Orlando or because up here you got everything. Orlando, Atlanta, everywhere have Carnival now.
So we just built a platform
Mhm.
that includes all of the islands we would travel to, that you could go on and experience the virtual reality. So we have beautiful locations, the culture, and all of that. So we're starting out with a 3-part library where you land on where you subscribe and you get access to photos of about 6 different countries. In addition to what I told you, it also includes Bequia, Antigua, and Montserrat. And
Montserrat have a carnival? I mean,
well, yeah, we were there in March. We went to do St. Patrick's Day festival, but it was canceled 2 days after we got there. We ferried over to 2 days after we got there. Some person from the UK came and they had coronavirus, and the whole festival got canceled.
wow.
So yeah, so that would have been another addition, as in the carnival you could experience in virtual reality.
Mhm.
So when you land on the site, even if you don't have the headset, you could still experience the carnivals. It just would not be as if you were there, but you could pull and look in any direction you wanted.
So I can do that on my laptop or even on my smart TV, and then and just jump and whine.
Well,
like
yeah, yeah. The headset is best though. It really feels as if you're there.
Is there a cost for this? I mean, do we have to?
I have it very low because I'm thinking volume. So I'm charging $2 per subscription.
$2?
I'm thinking yeah. I'm thinking volume, and
that's very low.
the persons that sign on with us early would there's some additional benefits that they will have access to, and we're thinking volume and we're thinking long term. So we're hoping with the low cost they will stick with us until but we're going to be adding additional places and that sort of stuff.
You need to get Bahamas in there too. I noticed that Lanez isn't saying anything, but
I'm interested. I'm interested in working along.
Carnival, that's our thing as well. It's more jump canoe, but Carnival, both of them basically similar.
Yeah,
I love Carnival. I love the music.
Yeah, junk canoe is awesome. I mean, it's like, it's just like similar to Carnival, but it's more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a patriotic day, because everybody have the Bahamian flags, and it's even here in Miami. It's like, it's crazy. You get your conch salad, your crack conch. You know what I mean? You know me. I'm gonna be thinking about the food too.
Yeah, because I'm thinking how are they going to do that for the first week in October where they have Miami Carnival? Because I think Atlanta or Orlando one was this Memorial weekend. I think it was Atlanta.
Both of them, Atlanta and
okay,
Atlanta
both at the same time.
Right? Yeah, okay. I believe Atlanta is Saturday and Orlando is Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Because my aunt normally would drive up to Atlanta and then turn around and come back down to Orlando on the way back.
Oh, she'd be partying.
Yeah, man, I tell you. Let's see. Tika was saying the Minister of Tourism have canceled a few events because of the pandemic. Yeah, everything right now is being canceled. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But next time they have when they have something going, I mean, at least now we know a pilot we could fly over with. Hey, put it this way, I trust this man. He flew around the world, right? I mean, I'm like, how many other pilots can tell you that they flew around the world? They might have flown back and forth to China a couple of times, but not around the world.
Oh,
not around the world.
So very grateful.
I'll tell you, man. So, and how did you go into Captain Irving? How did you get the sponsors that you had, though, in order to do that? Because that must have been a very expensive, trip.
Yeah, it was a $1.2 million trip, and it was I couldn't get any aircraft manufacturer to let me borrow or rent an airplane. So what I did was I actually went to the individual part makers. So the equipment manufacturers, so the folks who make the engine, the folks who make the seats, literally got 40 different parts donated one by one from the individual company. And that's how I outsmarted the system and used some street hustle in order to get my hands on a $650,000 plane.
Wow. Now talk about some of the stuff you have, and I don't know if you can talk about all the stuff you have coming up, because I mean you're like, the secret Asian man or something. I want to play that theme song, Secret Asian Man.
Oh man, no, we have a couple of exciting projects. Number one, we're doing a lot of things virtually to support schools through Flying Classroom, and that's grown tremendously. We've been having sessions all over the place. So that's one. Number two, we're actually taking our automotive race car program and we're transforming an 18-wheeler into a mobile automotive lab. So that way it could go to any school and they don't have to have the equipment and they could get the experience of building a race car. Wow. And then I'm also starting to acquire homes and then partner with construction departments from schools to renovate that multifamily unit and then rent it out to teachers for affordable living. So that's like the three big projects. Outside of the expeditions we do with Flying Classroom, those are the three big projects we have going on.
All right,
that's awesome.
Thank you.
Are these programs being done in Broward or Dade or both?
Well, Flying Classroom is being done in Broward, and of course we have the events with Broward schools. We're going to be doing some virtual things with Broward. The race car build, that will be based at Opelika Airport, just south of Broward. So that way we could go out to other communities and stuff. And then the home builds, those are being done in Texas and Virginia.
All right, that's good. That's good. And Lanez, you were talking about some of the stuff that you're doing with the schools, the programs where you're going into the school and you're teaching credit and things like that. Now, I know a lot of people don't do checkbooks anymore. Are you still teaching them how to write checks, or is that something that is kind of outdated?
Yeah, but everything is virtual now. Everything is done from the smartphone now. So you just take a picture and just post it. Yeah.
That's true, because and it's so funny because I mean, this little thing right here, I tell you, it's like we don't realize what we have in our hand, and we don't realize the power that we give to people when we put everything in here. I mean, this has everything.
Everything.
Honestly, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, would I prefer to lose my wallet or my phone? And I'm thinking, I don't know.
Wow, that's a serious question. I never thought about it like that.
Which one? I mean, think about it. Let me go around the room. Start with you, Lanez, first. Which would you prefer to lose? If you have to lose one, your wallet or your phone, which one got to go?
My wallet.
Maurice?
My wallet.
Captain?
I'd probably say my phone because there's security things you can do to immediately lock your phone and stuff and wipe it.
But it's just the inconvenience of getting another one and having to do everything again.
Yeah. If I lost my wallet, I got my pilot's licenses and all these other crazy immunization things and all that stuff in there. I'd probably have to go with I'd prefer to lose my phone.
Yeah, so we probably need to talk, Captain, because we haven't. One of the services is called a financial logbox, where you can put all of those personal information. It's like the cloud for the iPhone, where you put all those personal information in the cloud and you lock it and you just give certain people the key. So definitely need to talk about that.
No, I have that. That's what I'm saying. I'd prefer to lose the phone, believe it or not, because the wallet, it'll be hard to replace. Some of the IDs I carry to be able to travel and stuff, man, that'd be a headache to replace.
Yeah. Eden is saying that his phone would have to go. He's like, peace out, phone. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I tell you,
That's why it's important to back up everything, to make copies of everything, and so it wouldn't be that hard, replacing it, because you have all the ID number or the password number, or something
Yeah.
like that.
But you know what's so crazy though? I have everything backed up on my phone.
Yeah,
Oh.
but it's the thought of it. For me,
I
I could replace what's in my wallet versus what's on my phone.
I took pictures of everything. I mean, everything is on here. I mean, I
Yeah.
took, so it's like, it's so easy. If I have to file a police report for my passport or anything, I have a picture of it. So it's like, I don't know. Everything's on here. Maybe I put too much information on my phone. That's probably the problem.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna I know me. What I want to do is I want to sign up for the virtual carnival and find out what see what this is all about. Maybe actually one day I'll do that and just do a whole broadcast of the carnival, the virtual carnival, because right now people really need something to do. They are not going outside. They can't go outside really. I mean, we're starting to open up the county in different ways, but still we're gonna miss a lot of that, and I'll probably do that. So I'm gonna get with Maurice about doing that later on, and probably see what we can do about maybe doing a broadcast or something about it.
Okay.
Hmm?
No, I was saying I would really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, definitely, we'll make that happen. And
All right.
and I know we're going to be doing I have tomorrow, I believe, on the show. I have David Muir from well, he's here in Broward County. David I. Muir, because he has to use the middle initial since there's also another David Muir on ABC News. But and he's talking about the what's it called, a museum, a West Indian History Museum. So I don't know if Captain Irvin, I don't know if they already approached you about doing some of the stuff there, because I'm telling you, you would definitely be a big part of that with a lot of
I'd,
the stuff that you do.
I'd be open to it. I haven't spoken to anyone yet, but I'd be more than happy to collaborate that way.
Yeah, I'll definitely pass on your information to David so that he can reach out to you. But
Thank you.
yeah, because I think that would be great. The things that the accomplishments that you've had, that you've made, the things that you're doing for the kids, not just here in Broward, but all over the U.S. And like I said, the inspiration that you're giving to these kids, because believe it or not, there are children out there that just need to see someone else do it before that they can believe that they can do it. I mean, as adults, we're like, of course you believe you, of course you can do it. We know we can do it. But as children, they need to see someone else. That's so that's
No, absolutely. Just like when I saw that airline pilot.
Yeah, definitely. Did he ever tell you how much money he made?
Yeah, he did. When I met him, he said he made $117 an hour, and I was just like, legally? And like, yeah, this is a real job,
What?
And that was back in 2001.
I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, you have some airline, of course, before COVID-19, you have some airline pilots. They were topping out anywhere between $370,000 and $500,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm definitely in the wrong business. I need to learn how to fly. Can you teach me how to fly? Am I too old? I'm 50. Is that too old to learn how to fly?
You're never too old.
Never too old. Be harder to get hired, but you're never too old.
Yeah, you're never too old. You can learn the information.
Man, I tell you. Wow.
Captain, it will be good also, because I heard you deal with a lot of students, and I do free seminars for them. So we probably could collaborate together, and I do it in actually I travel in different states. We're in 50 states, so I can do credit repair for anyone in all 50 states. So definitely we could collaborate and see how we can work together.
Absolutely. No, let's actually get in touch, and I'll have Steve send you my info, and we'll get in touch. Not a problem.
Because we do give away scholarship as well, because for our protection plan for the credit repair, for every payment the customers make, $2 goes towards the financial literacy program, where we offer scholarships to students just getting out of high school and first year in college, to freshmen. So we offer scholarship, and this year we gave away about $400,000 worth in scholarships. That means that
Wow.
that means we're doing something good with our credit repair business. So definitely we have open enrollment. We'll talk about that. And we fly this year. We flew the person who won $25,000. We flew them and their family down, and we presented to them on stage in Las Vegas.
Oh,
So
wow. That's awesome.
definitely we need to get together because it's all about helping our children now.
Yeah.
It's all about helping them and guiding them in the right direction with financial literacy.
Can I get a scholarship to flight school?
Let me tell you,
Steve, we can also meet up, Steve.
Let me tell you, I have like, I don't know, 7 or 8 kids I'm sponsoring right now, and flight school is just expensive. It is pricey, very pricey.
See, get with Lanez and maybe she her scholarship program can sponsor some of those kids as well, you know.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
credit.
definitely they'll be able to and to enter the contest, they just have to answer about 10 questions pertaining to financial literacy and of course an essay. That's it.
All right, so it's more so the contest, and then the person you choose from the people that that entered who actually gets the scholarship. You're saying?
Yes, the first we give I think it's from the first prize winner gets 25,000. So it's a lot of students that get. We have second prize winner, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. The least one person would receive is 5,000.
Wow.
And it was $400,000 in this year.
So
2019.
If 5,000 is the lowest amount, then what is what's the top amount?
25,000.
Oh, 25,000. Okay.
So everyone gets, a lot of students get something.
Okay, so if I win the 25,000, right? I'll give you free flight lessons for life. Wait a minute, make sure you see that little, you know. Yeah. Okay.
You look like Ryan Seacrest there.
I know, right? On the up and up. We're not asking you to cheat or anything, but if I win, you get free flight lessons for life. Okay. All right. I'm just saying.
Goodness. But no, thank you, and thank you to your audience as well, and of course the other panelists, Tika, Eaton, Paula as well. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone in the comments, and really enjoyed it, Steve. Really did.
All right, and I appreciate you being on the show.
All right.
Let me get my any last words from any of you guys. Captain Irving, go ahead.
No, I just have to log off and do a live session, but I enjoyed it. I look forward to collaborating with us, and just whatever I can help out, and thank you to your audience. And hey man, good luck with Carnival as well. We got to get you hooked up with Jamaica.
Thank you, man. I'm interested.
All right.
And Maurice, all right, Captain Irvin, I'll talk to you later. I'll get you
all right. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. So let me hear some of your last words. The rest of you, go ahead, Maurice. What's your last words to the viewers?
Well, for the meantime, seeing we cannot really go out, seeing we can't really fly and go anywhere, you were able to experience the Caribbean, at least 6 islands, through virtual reality. We really are a travel company, but this was a part of the company I wanted to work on, and the downtime gave me the opportunity to finish the project. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity, and anytime you want to have me on again, I'm free.
All right. Thanks. I appreciate it. Lanez, let me hear you. Go ahead.
Well, definitely, I do appreciate you inviting me onto this call because I'm looking for a lot of helping a lot of people because credit is number one. You don't have credit, you don't really have, especially in the United States, you must have credit, because I mean, a lot of people don't have money in their bank, but if you have credit, you have everything basically, and you're in a whole nother bracket. So I do appreciate you inviting me on this call, and definitely I'm willing to come on again just to talk about the services and what all we all have to offer and the price to get started with our company.
All right, definitely we'll talk about that as well. All right, guys, I want to thank you guys for for being on the show. I want to thank everyone for watching. Even if you guys are watching on the replay, just definitely post your comments I read the comments. I read them all the time. Visit the website that you're seeing right there on your screen, lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com, to get their contact information if you need any of the services, if you want to experience anything that they talked about today, go on the website. You can scroll down on our advertisers. I'm actually going to add them underneath the advertiser section, so you'll be able to see all of the different things that they were talking about. Again, take care of yourself and each other's, guys. And I say this at the end of every episode: you are your brother's keeper. If you see that there's someone out there that needs something that you can give them, give it to them. You can't take it with you. It doesn't make sense. You're sitting there trying to hoard stuff. All right. If they need to get to the food bank to get food and they don't have a car, give them a ride to the food bank. All right. The line is long, but that's all right. The people need it. So I want you guys to definitely look out for each other. If any of you guys want to be a guest on the show, go to, again, Lunchtime Talk with Steve, and you can click on book an interview, and it just takes you right to the calendar. You can pick whatever slot is available to you. All right. Thanks again, guys, for being here. I really appreciate you guys. All right.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
All right. Have a great day.
All right. You too.
Thanks.